All right, and we're live. Dude, I'm streaming right fucking now. I just started. Yo, Baggins, go on YouTube right now. Right now. Go on YouTube. Right now, guys, we are live right now. I am here with Rig Service and Dragon is myself, and we are about to start the stream. So hang in tight. We got a lot of exciting topics for you, and we're gonna be live in just a couple of minutes. welcome to Blockchain Trends, your source for everything blockchain and crypto. We are live today doing a test stream so that we can test our audio equipment and Rig's new equipment on his end and his new microphone. I think I'm actually just gonna keep just on our. Yeah, dude. Dude, we're live right now. Dude, we're live right now. We're yeah, dude. That's how it works. Like it's live, but there's a delay. That's how it fucking works, dude. Otherwise, dude, your camera looks so good. It's so good. Hey, Baggins, can you hear us okay on the stream? Beautiful. There you go. We do not solicit financial advice or investment decisions. Uh, I just we need legal disclaimers, and anything out of Rig's mouth is just locker room talk. I guess is the way for entertainment and education purposes only. And that's a direct statement from the lawyer, by the way. Well, beautiful. Yeah, 100%. Is was FTX planned? Was it? Was this a huge? Was Sam Bankman-Fried a huge scapegoat for the federal government to impose regulation on cryptocurrencies? Isn't that crazy? Anyway, I th-
Human race or people that have the ability to invest in crypto are invested in crypto.
Oh yeah, but that's quickly about to change actually with the efforts of Stoic over there at the Coast, doing some amazing work, doing all the heavy lifting for the entire blockchain. The guy does not get enough credit. That project is not getting enough attention.
Well, most projects don't, though, right? Like most projects that are worth their being and worth their they don't get the time that they deserve because people are running around and they're chasing pennies in front of freight trains. I'm gonna steal that from Richard Hart because I think it still boils down to the community and what the community is capable of, and then also the intellectual capabilities of and what you're trying to drive within that community. Most projects don't, though, right?
Right, a project, no matter what the utility is or the dev team behind it,
Yeah,
that
utility is useless. It doesn't matter. It's all about
yeah,
community
it's
knowledge.
community. The community is 100%, or I'd say 90% of what determines the success or failure of
I mean,
any
look, it's like SafeMoon, right? Like
project.
SafeMoon sought SafeMoon copy and pasted B token, but just because they were able to have a bigger and they had a broader understanding of how to market it, became $1 billion crypto Ponzi. But it
Look
doesn't
at Shiba
matter.
Inu.
Same concept, but I mean, yeah. Well, they were smart. They were smart. They sent 50% of the supply to a cold wallet that Vitalik didn't have control over. He talked about that on the Lex Friedman podcast. He said these guys were so smart that they knew which cold wallet that I like. He literally had to call his
Right.
parents to
Yep.
to get the other part of that wallet. Yeah. So they were really smart. They sent him 50% of the supply. So what did
Oh,
he do?
that
He burnt, and then
that
he
and
burnt 25. He burnt 25%. It was worth billions. So it very smart marketing tactic. So it just proves that utility is useless. It's all about an innovative idea with an innovative community that's willing to spark something new within the space.
well, that's, I don't even think it really even needs necessarily innovative idea. It really only needs
No. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. I agree with that. I think that's why Pulse Chain is Pulse Chain because you know how he's not reinventing the wheel. He's just making shit simpler with the
right
community that's
Hundred
already here.
with
percent,
the
and
community.
that's what's needed.
Exactly.
That's what's needed
Yeah.
because if you
Somebody
make
driving
blockchain
it.
too complicated, then that um, puts the barrier of entry very high. Whereas we want to lower the barrier of entry to get new people into cryptocurrency. Otherwise, it'll be too complicated.
Would it
Right.
be
And then it would be then
uh,
that's onboard prohibitive
like
for
community
new onboards.
That lead the role.
that comes up with a beautiful idea to make money,
Correct.
then get a fuck ton of people together that don't necessarily believe in it
Because
fully?
there's going to be snakes in the grass.
Yeah.
That's what that's our whole belief.
So
People don't even have to believe in it. People don't even have to understand it, the technology. If
why
they
are you
feel
trying
confident in the belief of whoever's pushing it to them,
and getting money?
that's what's going to be their driving factor. And do
Well,
they
but
trust? When you're selling something, you're not
Why
selling
would you not stop
selling
where
stuff.
you're at
Somebody's going to buy that
and come up
not
with an
because of
idea
the thing, but because
instead
of
of
who's
adding
selling
more
to them
people to
and
the
how
pot?
they're selling to them.
but that I mean, we're born within a societal hierarchy. Jordan Peterson speaks about this a lot. He talks about hierarchies and the way that they're built. And a DAO can be built the same way, and the structure of money and like actual monetary value and things like that, and the things that we hold, anything that holds intrinsic value, like someone that scores goals or a basketball player that shoots goals. Everything's great based off the Pareto principle, which is the square root of actual activity or actual, like if you look at 10 people, a square root of 10 people are actually doing the actual real work. If you look at money, same thing, that holds intrinsic value. A square root of the people actually hold the top 1% of wealth. And that principle works across many different realms because it literally is like an almost a human fucking inheritance, because whenever you have a bunch of group of people, there's always going to be a group of people within that hierarchy that are evil, and then a very small group that might be good, right? So it's like you also have to take that into account, because like there's always going to be snakes in the grass and people that come back and bite you in the ass, even if you're trying to do good.
Well, yeah,
And
you have those that wish to.
and if you surround yourself with good people or whatever it is, or all of a sudden you blow up and you dated a chick that you didn't never treated bad, but maybe I was doing drugs with her. You're gonna tell me that if I didn't blow up and had 2 million followers, that this chick that I slept with and spent 6 years of my life with when I was using drugs with wouldn't come out and be like, yeah, he raped me? $20 says she would.
In fact, you wouldn't even have to have dated her or anything like that. You could have just like seen her at a photo shoot or something like that.
No, I'm just saying. I'm
But,
just saying, dude. I'm just.
yeah, it brings out
That's the life,
money
but that's the life
doesn't
that I
change a
lived.
person.
I
Money doesn't change
surrounded
a
myself.
person.
Which is borderless. And now you're attaching Bitcoin and currencies and other currencies that are attached to those borderless communities and give them value. Like we're all piling in a bunch of money into a smart contract that I look at like an insurance policy. And that insurance policy is betting the fact that the people that I get in early, or the people that are going to continue paying $50 a month into this membership program or whatever, buying this NFT, whatever it is, are not going to have to withdraw until the gains are substantial. And then if once the gains are substantial, they don't have to dump their bags because they can live off their bag because they can stake it, and they don't have to ever touch that underlying principle. And that's where Baby Pulse X and Baby Pulse comes into play, because you're able to stake Pulse. You're able to stake Pulse X, and you don't actually have to sell the underlying asset down, because it gives you a way of passive income for the rest of your life. And we're cornering the meme markets on both ends with Pulse and Pulse X, which both tokens can be staked on a
So what
brand
you're
new day
saying is
one.
basically is that instead of the normal way in which people used to interact with their resources, i.e., money and a measure of accounting, is that we can actually translate and communicate our resources to each other through the language of cryptocurrency. So, in actuality, cryptocurrency and the blockchain and smart contracts are not currency, they're not regulable items that cash, but they are in fact expressions of human nature.
That's what a smart
They are
contract is for.
communication, and it is language. So it should be protected as free speech.
No, of course. I would think, of course, that's what. Well, then the fact that one dude went to jail. I think he went to jail. The guy that did, like, I mean, USDC couldn't be used with it and things like that. What was it called? It was the mixer where you were able to send tokens and get tokens out. Yeah,
Tornado Cash.
yeah, Tornado Cash. Yeah, it got completely shut the fuck down. Right. I mean,
Well, Tornado Cash. That's the
only
thing.
USDC, but if you used ETH, you'd probably be okay. But if you use USDC, because USDC wouldn't allow it, you probably use DAI as well. But I mean, the less people running through with a red shirt, I mean, the easier it is to find the red shirt on the other end. I mean, it's been proven, like, you can do your best with privacy and blockchain, but like, even those people that got caught with Bitfinex, they used Monero. They took it off from Bitcoin to Monero, back to Monero, back to Bitcoin, and they still got caught. Well, they also sent groceries to their fucking house, but they attempted to hide it. But that's the beauty of blockchain. And maybe this is the global agenda. Maybe they want us to make sure that they're able to control us. But at least we're the first ones in it. And if we're the first ones in it, that means that we also control a ton of power, because we are the ones that are going to have a ton of value inside this infrastructure that the government is lagging behind it.
If we can keep it, to quote George Washington when asked, "What form of government have you given us?" He said, "A republic, if you can keep it." And that's the situation we're in now.
Define republic for the crowd.
The difference between a republic and a democracy, I would say, so a democracy is four wolves and a lamb deciding what's for dinner. That's a democracy. That's why anytime I hear these pundits on TV saying danger to democracy, they don't know what they're talking
Government.
about.
It's bigger government versus smaller government. A republic believes in a smaller government. Democracy believes in a bigger government. They need to step in and they need to help the poor, so to speak. Right?
Yeah, pretty much sums it up. One is
There's a lot more to that, but like a socialistic government means that you're giving the government power to step in and infringe on your rights because you believe that they believe is better for you for them to step in because you're not able to stop standing in front of the Salvation Army instead of go getting a job because it's a lot easier to get high and smoke crack than just to go off and actually fill out a fucking resume and ask them for help.
And Republic is comprised of sovereign individuals which stand upon their own volition, which protect the rights of the beliefs or perceived happiness for you. So if we had a constitutional republic, which we still have it, then we wouldn't
For now,
have a discussion about infringing upon our rights to choose our own financial technology.
but I mean, you say this over and over again. We don't even know our own rights as humans. Like people within the United States don't even know their own rights.
No, they don't. They believe they have a thing called Bill of Rights that they can access, and that's absolutely false. Nobody has the access to the Bill of Rights. Only the people that sign that document have that access. The Bill of Rights just enumerates those things which we need to do for ourselves.
We don't even know our own rights as humans. Like people in the United States don't even know their own rights. But and that's where we stand at a crossroads. But there's a reason why we're here. There's a reason why people love cryptocurrency and they believe that they have the freedom of right because they're trying to do.
So everybody can actually be identified. Every transaction can be identified if you know how to track the wallet down to the individual control of the wallet. But what you have in like Manila, for example,
They'll reach out to us. They'll probably help us out.
a smart contract, cryptocurrency that does not record, does not take certain information that is identifiable. So if it's not
There's a lot of cryptocurrencies that are all giving.
to be put on the public record first. But even moving forward, even further than that, is if you want to, those people that want to argue about the magic internet money and how it's used.
It is magic internet money.
And it's only used like on a deep dark web to do nefarious things.
But
I
it's
would
not.
suggest that they go and look at how much of their fiat currency is used to conduct things like drug purchases.
Yeah, they would never say that. Yeah, the U.S. dollar is so dirty. I mean, they talk about they flew the U.S. dollar over. The U.S. dollar has blood all over it. If people are trying to say that they use cryptocurrency for drugs and this and that, yeah, they might. Of course they do. But the U.S. dollar has been the biggest drug trafficking, money laundering fucking currency that was ever created by man. Right.
100%,
And those that say that Bitcoin, because it's mined a certain way. It's a debt paying a debt.
Actual dollar that was backed by the constitutional silver or gold, or you try to undermine the nation's money supply. That's treason. That's counterfeit. And the irony is that the Federal Reserve did just that. So all of these
Right. They would
politicians that
exactly.
allow that bill to be
They would.
passed and
Correct.
actually
That's what money is. Money is a
introduce these Federal Reserve Acts and the
They're
Federal
based off
Reserve.
community.
This is a belief too.
Exactly.
So how do you turn
That
it
undermines our nation's money supply. That
Because I make money.
today, that's where inflation and deflation come from. Inflation and deflation are not a natural occurrence to a healthy monetary system. So
Hey,
real
and then exactly. At least emotionally tangible.
1 ounce of
It's
gold,
emotionally
1 ounce
tangible. That's
of
what
silver
Disney
is
Disney
1 ounce
thrives
of gold
on
and
emotional tangibility.
will always be that.
Disney doesn't create anything tangible. They put a Disney character on a
You have
screen.
a fiat currency, which is derived
It's
from
cryptocurrency.
somebody's
It's even smarter. It's
imagination.
even better than
And
that.
it has
It's
no
digital. It's
underlying
digital emotional fucking therapy.
But we even have the ability to
You just
manipulate
have to wake
and
up.
to create social engineering
How do
through
I don't have to.
money supply. But it's not money.
I'm
It's
trying.
fiat. It's
I'm
currency.
trying.
It's not money at all.
You're starting to get it.
Once you get to that point,
You're starting to get it.
that's when you start making
Exactly.
real money alternatives.
I agree with you. There's a lot of people in the space that are just too stupid. Well, there's a lot of people alive that aren't worth the breath that they breathe.
To give,
You okay? No, you
it's to
speak
give to them.
exactly. You. They hear me all the time. You're lying. Walk over there. You were just telling me some shit. Captain, keep speaking.
So an unrebutted affidavit becomes truth in commerce. And
Tell them
all
how
of
you
these
know
courts
me.
are courts of
And then
commerce,
go.
right? They're administrative process courts, even though people believe that they're conducting criminal court in them. So if we understand that these administrative processes are all contract law, and then we also understand that smart contract, the blockchain, DeFi, fintech also is contract and contract law, we can extrapolate from there and realize exactly the potential that we have with this technology and how we can improve our current state of politics and our current corruption in politics and in finance. Because we can deploy immutable contracts that must execute based upon the parameters given,
Back in the
can't be
group.
bribed, can't be blackmailed, won't be threatened, will obey whatever parameters are given to them. And I think we have a lot of answers that to questions that we've had for a long time on how we can fix some of the problems of our nation. We don't need more laws, more regulations, more politicians. We need the laws that actually exist to properly for the elected officials to do their job, which is serve them and enrich themselves. And the regulations that are going to come forth, we need to come from people, from us here, boots on the ground, people whom those regulations are directly going to be affecting. And it needs to come with thought from us and not through regulatory regulation through enforcement by illegally and illicitly just filing frivolous lawsuits against organizations and entities which are attempting to move the future forward in a productive and progressive manner. I think it's a betrayal to the people. I think it's a disservice to the people. I think it's criminal activity. And I think that we, the people, need to do our job, which is to take more pride in our legislative policies, pay more attention to what our legislators are policing, are doing, and hold people accountable. Number one, we need to hold people accountable. And if we're going to do that, we need to come up with some standard system across all blockchains
When I'm
that
trying to
is
understand how
immutable,
crypto
that
works
will
and how
evolve
y'all are trying to
itself,
spread the
correct
word
itself, audit itself,
and make
but
this
also brings
what it
full
should be. But
transparency
so
and
my first
fairness
question would be
in all
outside of crypto,
transactions in the
not knowing much
blockchain,
about it.
in
If you're
decentralized finance. The
wanting to
only way we're
grow
going to actually
this
have
and
true
grow the
decentralized
community and make
finance
people
is by
understand what it's
centralizing
about,
our
first,
complicit accountability to
what
one
is the
another.
product that you would present to people to prove to them that, hey, this is the right way, this is the new way? Is there a tangible product? Is there some type of product that you can provide to people to bring them on to this idea? And what would that be?
Yeah, I still hear you. I just stopped talking.
Yeah, so the product would be the blockchain, right? I mean, the utility of blockchain is to uh, anonymously, with no third party, send money to somebody else without any third party, not having to go through a bank, not having to go through, a bank teller, do a wire transfer that takes 24 hours, not having to deal with a hold on your account, all of those centralized problems with our current banking
Can
system.
you guys hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me? I don't think he can hear me.
I can hear you.
I think he needs to join the Telegram again because he can't hear me.
I can't hear anything.
Yeah, I can't hear or see him.
Let me see if I can get my mic to work. Hold on. On the Discord. Bank tellers do a wire transfer that takes 24 hours. With a hold on your account. Okay, so basically the gist of what I was saying, if you can hear me now, with our current banking system, is I was saying that basically. Yes, I can hear me. So okay, so his headset's back on. Okay, cool.
Okay.
All right, so basically what I was trying to say is that this new system doesn't require a third party, right? You have to sell it as saying, okay, you don't have to go to the bank anymore and deal with the bank tellers and wait in the long lines, right? And deal with holds on your accounts to be able to send money from one person to another person. Okay, you can do it all anonymously without having to go on all over the red tape, providing a reason, to keep your private transactions private and not having to wait over 24 hours for the funds to be available on the other side. That is a problem with the wire transfer. And the fees for a wire transfer are higher than a gas fee would be. So it's all just payments, new financial technology that is better than the ancient banking system we use today. And that's how you sell it. And the other benefit of using cryptocurrency is that it is a new financial product that has a lot of upside potential for profit as well. It's not just a sending of a payment from one person to another. It's also a hedge against the dollar. Okay? So people are storing value by buying cryptocurrency, for one. For two, they're able to participate in an anonymous system that enables them to send one payment from one person to another, regardless of their nationality, regardless of whether their account's in good standing or not, regardless of who they are. You are just able to send a payment of this amount. If I want to send 1 Bitcoin to my friend in Saudi Arabia, I can do it, and it takes 5 minutes.
Okay.
And that's it.
And so opposed
It's
to
also a much more
dude, I don't know
efficient
anything about
measure of
cryptocurrency. I'm
true
not trying to
accounting too.
act like I do. How
And it does
what is the
prevent
difference between that
the
and like
the
Venmo or
destroying
Cash App
purchasing
or
power of
you know what
inflation
I mean? Like
and
we can
interest
do
rates
that now with the
arbitration. So
US
like
dollar.
It's not
But what
the
I'm
way
trying to
those
say is,
numbers
how
are
do you
derived
get people on
is complete
board
nonsense. It's
to
literally
what
just
you were
made
speaking
up by
on?
people who
Like, how
decide
do you show
this
them a
is the number
product?
we're just gonna
How do you
use.
prove to them that
Now
this
I'm sure that
works?
there may be some
Um,
formula or
do
system
you
that,
start with a small
who
group
knows,
and make
it
that
could be
group
grabbing straws.
successful
I don't
and
know.
then go from
They
there?
say that
Or
there's
do you feel
these
like just bringing as
accounting,
many people on as
these measures of
possible,
accounting that they use, but
and showing them the way?
do the math. It's
I
not.
feel like at
That's
some
not.
point
It
you would
does
have to
not
prove that this is
produce a
100%
healthy
the way to go.
economic system. It's not a healthy
I don't know if
monetary
you would do
system. It's
that
fiat
by
currency
bringing a bunch of
that
people
is
in,
actually a
or
debt
having a small
instrument.
group becoming
Um,
successful and
so
then
when
sharing
people
that
are putting
knowledge.
their faith in the
Right. So
almighty dollar
there's an
bill,
issue right now where you two can't hear each other. So could I get you to join the Telegram again, the Telegram account, so that you guys
Yeah.
can hear each other, because you've been talking over each other for a solid 2 minutes.
Who, me and Blair?
You and Baggins on the other end.
Okay.
So if you guys could join the Telegram again, you're probably gonna have to get him.
I'm in the Telegram.
But yeah, in the meantime, to answer your question about how do you show people, well, there's a lot of tech demos that you can show people. Like you could have one cell phone on one side and one cell phone on the other, or one computer on one side, one computer on the other. Show them just how fast it is to get one payment to the other. There's also a lot of instructional videos that show people how it works. You'd really market it like any other digital good or service, right? I mean, how do they market Netflix, right?
Yeah.
How do they
Exactly.
market emails?
Right.
How do they market cell
emails.
phones?
Same situation. And you got to get spread the word out that way. And we have to do our best to break the stigmatism that surrounds crypto. This get rich quick scheme that the media paints it to be. This tool for criminals that the media paints it to be. And if we can break the stigma and hold people who take advantage of the anonymity of the system, then we can all benefit by getting new holders into cryptocurrency and showing them just the true benefits of the whole entire system.
Yes, and how superior it is to the fiat debt system, which doesn't benefit anybody and only brings more depravity upon society in actuality. Like you can't pay a debt with a debt, right? Yet we do this every day when we believe we're exchanging a dollar that has some value for something else. But the fact is that that dollar bill, that Federal Reserve note that you have in there, read it. It says this is legal tender for all debts. Now, if it was beneficial, if it was money, I would say this is lawful money for all payments. So what we need is we need to rethink our vernacular, readjust the way that our words have been perverted and poisoned, because liberty, for example, is not better than freedom. So, it's the Statue of Liberty, not the Statue of Freedom, because a citizen does not have freedom. A citizen has liberty. A citizen is subject. We need freedom, but you can't have freedom if you can't stand upon your own volition, if you can't be a productive human member of society, an adult. Then you need a babysitter. You can't operate effectively in society. You can't be a benefit to society, to your fellow man. So we need to have personal accountability. We need to know what our personal value systems are. And then we also need to carry ourselves with balance. And we need to do this not just for ourselves, but for those around us, those we care about, and for those that are coming after us. Because if you have children, you need to really think about the society that you are creating for them to grow up in right now. Whatever our parents did, we had to live through. So we had to suffer the consequences or reap those benefits. So the same thing goes for the next generation. Like if we don't do it right, we're just setting the path to continue and to promulgate economic indentured servitude through a debt system that is centrally controlled by a foreign corporate entity with private shareholders that nobody knows who they are, so there's no accountability.
Oh, Brett, you gotta unmute yourself on Telegram so everybody can hear you. Should be a big blue button on the Telegram.
It says unmute with a microphone.
Yeah, get Riggy to do it. Oh, there you go.
Okay. All
All
right.
right, we can hear you now, Brett. Go ahead.
I'm I'm used to like fucking teams and yeah. All right. Anyway, so I feel like in order, like, and this is my personal opinion. Just a little background. I'm operations manager for a durable medical equipment company. I've started 2 new branches for them. Um, our new thing is starting our first branch in Texas, so I got selected to do that. What I
Oh, you dropped out there.
Yeah, we had him drop out.
Mm.
Here, I'll get his audio again.
Stop,
Hold
stop.
on. All right, keep going, Brett.
All right, you hear me? You hear me?
The stream can get you now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So what I do first is I decide what product are we providing, who are we providing it to, and how can we provide it in the best way possible, right? So first, I feel like you have to learn what that product is and learn everything that you could possibly learn about it, which it sounds like you guys have done. Now, the second thing for me would be, um, choose your audience, which it sounds like you guys have done. But what I'm saying is of a lot of this seems like you have to see the product to get on board and buy into it fully. Now, how do you show people who don't buy into this fully that this is like a real thing? Like, where's the product? Where is the product? If the product is community, you have the community, but you want to grow your community. And by growing your community, you have to get people on board that don't believe in what you're doing. It's just the nature of the beast. So I feel like by having outreaches, by creating a group of people like y'all have here and turning your cryptocurrency into something tangible and then giving that to people and bringing them in would be better than just like preaching, hey, cryptocurrency is where it's at. Like you have to have a tangible product to show people to bring them into what you're doing, right? And tangible doesn't mean like, hey, here's invest $100. Oh, I just made you $200 in 2 months. I mean like going out, being face to face with people, creating some kind of product from the money that you're making to show people that you can do good with this money that you're making. It's not about just preaching on the internet. It's about getting out into the public. It's about having a product or having and helping people who need help. It's about literal community like
Well, that's a good point. If I could touch on that, because you brought up some really valid, pertinent points right there. And to that, I would say that as far as what's the tangibility, what's the intrinsic value, what's the product to bring to them? Well, let me ask you this. If you wanted to affect something, can you affect it by manipulating its shadow? Or do you have to get to the root of it? You have to get to the actual physical thing of it, just like you're saying, right? So if I'm shadow boxing, I'm not actually interacting with anything at all. The shadow is empty. It's just it's an outline. It's a silhouette of something. And in much ways, this is exactly what DeFi cryptocurrency, what DeFi fintech is. So the tangible thing would be we end up getting legislation passed. We end up using blockchain decentralized financial technology in a way that does not have anything to do necessarily or immediately with finance, but we use the smart contracts behind it, and we forge a new path of engaging with politics, engaging with commerce, with contract law, engaging with courts of finance and administrative process, engaging with property rights. So the tangibility, the thing that you're asking about, is only limited by the human imagination. With what we have now, is nothing different than what we've essentially been doing with our imagination when it comes to finance. The difference is that with this, it is not ran by a centralized organization that can manipulate its supply, its purchase power. You can't shut it off from people. Can't keep it from on this side of the border, that side of the border. It opens up the door to a lot of opportunity and potential that goes far beyond finance, far beyond profit and money. We can change politics. We can change the corruption. We can change the way policing is enforced. We can change the way people buy and sell goods. People trade. We can change a lot in politics and in law. So that thing
that's my whole point in having something tangible. That's my whole point. I feel like
the Constitution. Would you say the Constitution is tangible? We all apparently live according to that in this country. Our laws tangible? They're on the books, and we all adhere to it. Is your bank account? Is it tangible? Is your cell phone contract tangible? Is your mortgage tangible?
You're 100% correct. You're 100% correct. But my thing is, if you do have that product, you're going from it feels like you're jumping some small steps to get to the big steps. And I feel like if you have something tangible and you help people who need help and you get this out there and you show that you're doing good in the community by, taking donations or doing whatever you got to do, you're playing the politics, you're playing the game. You're showing that what you're doing and what you believe in can affect other people's lives who know nothing about cryptocurrency. That's how you grow. That's how you play the politics, is you get out and you show people that, hey, this is what we're doing. This is what we believe in. And this is how it can help firsthand. You can't just say, hey, we have to start changing the laws. Well, the way you do that is you get people on your side by giving them tangibles, by showing them that the money that you make doing what you're doing can change people's lives.
So let me ask you. So you came to us today. How did you come? How did you come by us? Did not Rig invite you and put you on to have a conversation with us?
Yeah,
is he not showing you exactly that small step that you think we're skipping? We're not skipping. That small step is being conducted every single day on the blockchain. And
I'm not saying it's not. I haven't been involved enough to know. I'm not saying it's not. I'm not trying to say you guys aren't. I'm just like, this is my opinion, so to speak. So I'm just catching up. I'm not trying to say you guys aren't doing anything the right way. I'm just saying, as far as like the business that I've helped start and the other business I've helped start, is it all starts with the product. And how do you show
Sure, the
people how
product
that
is the key
product
Well,
word.
works?
see,
When it
what you
comes to
could
this,
do is you
it's
could
the
have
people.
community outreaches, like host events. Maybe we could host like a charity event that's around blockchain, and say,
Right.
okay, we're raising this funds to help flood survivors, or we're doing this to help, the blood
Veterans
drive,
Affairs,
or we're
veterans.
doing this. And while we're doing that for this event, we're also showing people about blockchain, and we're
Dude,
raising
yeah,
awareness about the issues that we're raising money for and
you're
blockchain.
literally getting free advertisement. Like,
Hmm.
you do things like that, people show up, you advertise what you're doing, and then you give them your spill. Like, it's getting in front of somebody is better than it's the best way to communicate.
Right, he's talking about like in person stuff, like and raising awareness in person, like going out to the people who have no idea, who are new to cryptocurrency, off the street, people who can come in and they get educated, learn more about it. That people who would have had no idea, wouldn't have even been searching for it. Maybe they're not tech savvy, or they're not online. Like, I hear what you're saying.
If you're out
Yeah.
in the community and you're out doing things like, dude, the political side, that's going to happen because you're the one out there doing it. Like, you can't ex- expect people to change laws or to help you out at all if they don't see you trying to make the change. You know what I mean? You got to get your hands dirty. You got to get out. You got to shake hands. You've got to explain to people in person what you're trying to accomplish. It would be like a patient coming into my office and saying, "Hey, I need oxygen to keep me alive." Okay. Well, yeah. Hey, that's great. I have oxygen in the back, but can't get it to you for the next 3 days. Well, yeah, I have a way to make you money, but I can't get it to you for the next few months. When you say that and you shake somebody's hand, they're going to believe you before they say, or you just talk to them over the phone and say, "Hey, yeah, I got you. We're going to get you set up." Like, shake their hand, look them in the face, and say, "This is what I believe in. This is what I do. This is how I'm going to help you." Um, I just feel like outreaching in the community is and by tangible, that's what I meant. I didn't mean like you're making money, you're making crypto. Not That's not necessarily tangible until you turn it into something tangible. I'm talking about tangible as in shaking somebody's hand, telling them what you're here for, giving them a sandwich to eat, or giving them something, or your business card with your label on it, and saying, "Hey, we could change your life. This is how much we believe in it."
So I can
You know what I
relate that
mean?
more to the terminology of intrinsic and value. There's something intrinsic in the value of what we're exchanging as far as the idea and the interaction and the engagement with the people, right? So that's that's a transferable, agreeable measure of resource that we can provide for somebody, that they can equate that they can understand that, and they can calculate that as valuable, as something that is worth their time or their investment. I mean, time is money, money, right? Like this is all kind of goes hand in hand, right? Um, so the most important resource though that we have in the exchange of that is the human resource. And the most valuable asset is the human's asset. So us, we are to each other the most valuable uh product that we're exchanging in our ideas, in our engagement, in our thoughts, what we're doing. It's important for us to have the self value and accountability and balance, so that way we can stand side by side next to each other and in support of each other, rather than leaning upon one another, trying to get the resources from the other person because we're
Yeah.
lacking of alignment.
Yeah, or just hoping for the best. You know what I mean? It's like, eh, I can listen.
Used to be when I was a loan officer, I used to I used to get the 1003 app, which I have to get their private information, their banking information, their social security number, birth dates, all of that. And I would get it over the phone, no problem. My gift of gab made it very easy for me to do that. However, because of the way that I would look when I would attempt to accomplish the same thing in person, it was very difficult. I rarely was able to get the information without, a lot of scrutiny, if I was able to get it at all. So, human nature is very funny like that. Like I see what you're saying, and it, intuitively, I would agree with you, but my experience actually kind of shows me that's not always the case, like
No, no, it's not always the case. It's not always the case. I mean, I have my employees try to get
see the the benefit in the person's life, when they see their ability to be more free with their resources, when they see they're not stressed out as much, when they see that they're able to retain more of their sweat equity and economic energy. So when you see somebody that's driving a nicer car, they're wearing nicer clothes, they seem to be happier, they're getting along with their family more because the financial stress isn't a factor anymore. That's that's just as tangible and just as important and just as valid as, like, say, advertising via word of mouth being the strongest form of advertisement, of onboarding, and of customer retention, being word of mouth. You trust somebody physically in front of you that's saying something and standing behind something more than some random person on a billboard or an advertisement. And so just as much as that is true, so is true when people in their personal lives are utilizing DeFi, fintech, the blockchain, smart contracts, and deploying it in their lives in a way in which their affairs that they're conducting are showing outwardly through their other aspects of their life, through the other, the way that their demeanor is, or, their lifestyle choices, or their more freedom that they have, or, you know, the various aspects that money, or what we think is money, currency, tends to be the root of the problems of. So by getting somebody to recognize how it's improved your life as a product, they don't necessarily need to see the product and believe in the product if they can see the results of that product, of how it's affected you in a positive way in which they want to see that in their own life.
Yeah. Um, I think the best possible way to show somebody that is to I mean I'm old school, man. I mean face to face is like, man, this guy, like a handshake. This guy is very passionate about what he's saying. He's making eye contact. Like
You should come to our meetups. You should come to our
I
meetups,
could,
like the ones we have in Vegas and in our conventions. I think that,
dude,
that's right up your alley.
I'd love to, man. I just, I would, I would feel better about what someone is telling me if I could shake their hand, look them in the eye, and see their body language. Because, I mean, let's be honest, like people are shady these days, man. I could get on the internet, or some shady person could get on the internet or on the phone.
In crypto, there's not a shortage of
Well,
that
yeah,
here.
yeah.
That's human nature,
Blair's
though,
told me
you know.
that.
But it's
Um,
and a lot of people are probably, if they heard me say that, would be like, oh, no, no, don't say it. But you got to be honest with people, and you know give people the best chance of protecting themselves and their resources. And that's the only way to do that is by being honest, letting them know the pros and the cons, letting them know what's out there, what to be aware of. So just as much as that there's shady people everywhere in the world, the same goes here. Even though, in fact,
yeah,
when there is a good thing for people and it is new and innovative, that's when you tend to find the worst people, the highest concentration of them, especially in the beginning of the thing, which is kind of where we're at now. There's very small percentage of the human population that's actually onboarded with crypto. That soon, hopefully, will change with some of the things that are going on. But regardless of that, it's what we have here as an opportunity and as a potential to benefit far beyond the financial implications, is what I believe is what you are wanting to see, is what you're getting at. And I think that
yeah.
that's really, for you, that's where the value is. And I'm much like that myself. I don't really, I'm not too concerned with, Xing my bags, and it's okay to make profit and to make money. But the other things that I'm much more interested and concerned about, like far beyond anything financial, is the power of the implication of what we have and how short of a window we have to deploy it properly and effectively, and to move far beyond, finance and profit. There's so much more here. Would hate to see it slip through our hands, because of, the lack of these kinds of conversations happening.
And I do. Setting up, you could set up a tent, at a freaking, I don't know, you could set up a tent at any. What do they do down here, Blair? It's like once a month they do like any like local business can set up a tent. Dude,
Like
$75.
a farmer's market or street fair
Yeah,
type thing.
yeah, you could come set up a tent and just kind of like spread the word, man. And like I feel like because me, I'm old school, dude. The only reason I'm on here is because Blair's computer is up and he set everything up. I would never
I'm rig
hear about
service,
I would
but
never
also
hear
known as
about
Blair.
crypto or what you care about unless I met you like face to face. And there's a
Well,
lot
that's
of
the
people
thing.
out there
As a
like
business
that.
I
owner, that's
hear you.
actually one of the things that I'm doing. That's what I was talking to Dragon about earlier. Was what kind of projects are out there that would assist me in facilitating using blockchain and crypto to pay my employees and to receive payment for my contract. So that is one of the things that we do.
Yeah.
On a smaller scale, on a macroeconomic scale, individually, that's one of the ways that I'm taking the personal responsibility, is turning my business into a DeFi centric business and onboarding my employees and exposing my my clients to something they may not be aware of, or something maybe they are aware of, but because there's no real world translation to them, they don't go any further. But now that they have a customer and an employer that's making it, showing them the utility of it and how much more effective it can be than our current debt fiat. I think that's, for me, what I can do on my small scale. And I think if enough of us individually do that, only 3% of the population needs to do it for it to become mainstream. And we're quickly reaching that with the amount of people that are onboarding into crypto, especially the explosion of Pulse Chain when it launches is going to be insane. The things that Stoic is doing over there at Coast he's reaching like damn near 1/3 of the human population on the planet. Giving them an opportunity to have the safety and security of knowing that, okay, financial institutions are opening the doors now to allow this onboard offboard into and out of ingress and egress of from DeFi to fiat. So it's not like we're doing away with the financial institution. It's more like it's cooperating with those that still want to hold a grasp on that old archaic system that it's proven to fail. It will always fail. It's debt. There's no actual value. It's manipulated. And eventually people are going to see the light. You can't be around something that's positive for too long without wanting that thing for yourself. That's human nature. So, that's where we're reaching individually on a small scale. At least that's part of the ways that I'm approaching it. I'd also like to be
Yeah.
able to get legislation passed using blockchain technology. That would be my final solution.
Yeah, and that's where I think like, going out community outreach would help the best.
A level higher than just our verbal cues.
Yeah, and I think that like, um, maybe like, I mean, I'm not even a part of this group. I'm like, sorry guys, I'm like throwing all these ideas out. Don't hate me. But like maybe plan whoever can from this group. Like, I could actually probably set up something here in Houston where we could get like rent a tent and just freaking, y'all could come down and freaking put out whatever y'all want to put out. Especially in big cities like this, when you have more people willing to be like on the tech side and more, the younger crowd that's living downtown and things like that. I just think that, you know, community outreach in a way where you can actually physically be there goes a lot longer. Okay, you can reach more people on the internet, but your word will not affect them as much as if you shake their hand and look them in the eye and tell them what you're trying to do.
No, manipulation through
And
the
that's just
internet
my opinion.
nowadays. I just
Yeah.
wish it worked that way, Brett.
And there is
And it's
a
not,
lot.
there's
There's a
no,
lot of outreach events actually. Like people in the community, they'll just have meetups in the area in different like major cities, like Houston, like um, Las Vegas. You know, where else? I don't know, Orlando, stuff like that. You know, just in Miami. Like they'll have like crypto meetups for all that thing. So if everybody wants to learn, there's like outreach events for this kind of stuff, and that's kind of the kind of stuff that we could do more of. And the thing is, a lot of our team is from very different locations in the United States
yeah,
or abroad. So we have a couple of members in our team. We have, I don't know, 4 or 5 different time zones on our team for
yeah,
blockchain trends. So
yeah,
it is a little difficult to get us all in the same place at the same time, but we could set up a station on our own and in the different areas as well and try to get more people in person to get on board with what we're trying to do with cryptocurrency. That's for sure.
yeah. And I mean, there's got to be like other communities plus the one y'all have here that you can reach out to and be like, hey, we are wanting to set up a GoFundMe or take donations. We're wanting to spread the word. Like, there's got to be ways to make money to get people where they need to go, right?
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Right. You
Like,
could
how
just
cool would it be if all you guys could meet up somewhere and just put on like a, like I live by Minute Maid, where the Astros play. Like, you could rent a spot on like a Saturday, and just people will be walking by, and you could just give them your ideas, let them know what you're doing. I feel like there would be a way for a group like this to make money to be able to send everybody somewhere wherever y'all wanted to go. You know what I mean? Like, there's ways to raise money.
absolutely.
We do this. There are communities that do it. We're just not big enough yet.
Well, how many people are in this community?
About 500 people, about 100 people active at a time.
100 people active at a time?
Yeah, something like that. We're creeping up close to 600 members in the Telegram.
Yeah.
So that's pretty exciting.
See, that's
we're
a lot of
still
people,
small.
man.
It is.
I mean, that may be small, but that's not real small. I mean, the people who care, I feel like, would donate to be able to do something like that.
That's how we launched tokens, and we were able to build what we built.
Anyway, again, I don't know much about cryptocurrency, but Blair's starting to talk me into it. I'm more about like investing in tangible, like, real estate type stuff and all that.
This is what we're trying to build. This is what we're doing.
But
Having a conversation. You know what I mean? A conversation that would have never happened unless we were talking about cryptocurrency. Cryptocurrency literally has brought me to where I am. There's a reason for it.
Well, I don't want to interrupt him in the background, but to touch on what you just mentioned is actually a very good case point of the utility. So the way you would go about securing some real estate, some land, let's just go ahead and throw out the very basic general mortgage, right? So, you're imagining this, and what you're going to do is you're going to go into a bank, you're going to go sign some documents. That's going to outline where the property is. It's going to have a plat map. It's going to have the details of the mortgage. Is it PIs, TIs, the property tax and insurance on there? Get the flood check and all that stuff. So, if you think about it, the way that that's going down and the way that you're conducting the procurement of that property is no different, other than for the fact that doing it using blockchains and smart contracts would be much safer, more secure. You would not even need a middleman. There would be everything that would be outlined in that contract or requirements. All of that would be checked. You could essentially self custody your own title and escrow to execute the contract, because if it wasn't there, the contract wouldn't allow for the deployment or the records to be updated or changed with the tax assessor's office. So you could essentially you could buy property and real estate. You can do all of that using DeFi, decentralized financial technology. So you brought up a really good point about things that you like to invest in. You like to invest in real estate, but you like to invest in real estate using a bank that is known to fail, a bank that charges exorbitant fees, a bank that has corruptible human nature behind it, a bank that has
you know what I think
fraud
shitty
conducted
about that,
with it.
though, is what happens when this thing gets so popular, they start doing the same thing for cryptocurrency as
We're
they're doing
rich
for
by
everything else.
Okay, except the thing is, for a mortgage, right? This would be all automated, right? And if this happens like we want it to happen, this will be automated. You take a loan out for your mortgage, right? And how this would work is, I don't know if Riggs told you about this or not, or Blair, as you know him by, but there's something called liquid loans.
Or Bitcoin, either way.
Right. That where you can actually stake some collateral. So say your down payment, right? You stake that um, for the loan, and if you don't pay back the loan, you get liquidated, and you have to
Okay.
pay a fine or whatever, so that they can recoup their costs or whatever if you default on that loan. But it's automated, and it can't be changed by an outside force like a bank, or your interest rate can't go up like how they do variable interest rates and stuff like that.
Hmm.
Yeah, it would be like a fixed interest rate and that kind of thing. And as long as the asset that you're using doesn't decrease by a factor of like 100%, your loan won't decollateralize. So it's a better way of doing loans because you don't have to depend on a bank to administer it, and you don't have to worry about your interest changing on you like that. And I remember my student loans, my interest rate on that just went up. I think everybody's experienced a rate change on their loans or mortgages um, over the years, and it definitely hurts people financially. So this is something that blockchain can solve for people.
Okay. So my question after that would be, so say you do have some properties. You Is there a way to make money off of renting those properties in crypto alone?
Yes.
Yes,
So
you
if you
write
have
that
them
into the
pay through crypto to your account,
Mhm.
or you could take their fiat and turn it into crypto, whatever. You
What
could
what
take
account would accept that? Who would accept that?
Oh,
kind of payment?
all you would need is a QR code. Have you ever heard of that before?
Yeah, yeah.
So have them scan the QR code and send the payment, and that's how easy it would be. Just to your wallet address. That's it.
And it would go to my bank account with my
That would
bank.
go to your crypto wallet, okay? So that you control, right? You don't need a bank account in crypto. Okay?
you
You
don't
just
need to
need
deal with the title company. You don't need to deal with escrow. You don't need to deal
you
with
don't
an
need to
underwriter. You don't need to
yep.
wait. You don't need to all of that done. That's the beauty of the smart contract. The financial technology that we're discussing. That's one of the main aspects to it is the
Yeah, you're literally just taking
rights
out the
out.
most corrupt part out of it.
That's
Absolutely,
right.
absolutely.
Yeah, yeah.
You're no middleman.
Well,
So no asshole.
well,
No fighting
we're gonna.
over the phone with the bank because something went wrong or whatever.
Yeah, that's. I mean, that would be helpful. In my experience, anything the government touches just goes to shit. So
And you worked for the government, right?
yeah. Well, I served under Obama. Sorry if anybody here likes Obama, but you're lucky you didn't have to serve under him.
Hey, and this is completely unbiased because believe me, I don't talk to Brett about my cryptocurrency or anything like that. So this entire stream done by someone that knows nothing about cryptocurrency, being able to chat with my community is fucking based as fuck. So, dude, anyone that has hung around and had the opportunity to just listen to Brett, what he has to say, I respect the fuck out of y'all because he is my best friend, and I have never ever reached out to him for a dime. But I would literally take a bullet for him. And I know for a fact he would not let that bullet hit me. And that's what's fucked up. He's always told me, he goes, Blair, dude, don't fuck this up. Don't fuck this up. Because he knows that I'm a very smart individual. And I surround myself with very intelligent individuals. Dude, the whole time Brett was able to engage with y'all. And he has no idea what the fuck y'all are talking about. Like, he's able to engage with y'all into a conversation about things to where he's able to open up his mind. Like, we grew up to where, like, literally there was a gun pulled on me and Brett, and he slapped it out of a dude's hand. I told you the story. I thought I was going to die. Brett just slapped it. Dude, it was like some 12-year-old kid. Brett just slapped a gun out of his hand.
Oh.
Shit happens.
I grew up in a bad area. I did, but yeah, that was a long time
He's
ago.
a gangster. But at any rate, the things that
I'm
we
just
grew up
old
with,
now.
Yeah, we hear you.
Very hard for me to invest in. So
We hear you.
I mean, that's why and I'm probably gonna end up investing in it, but
Let me
it's
answer
just
the question to put it in kind of like a perspective. So, do you have, and I'm not asking this
Dragon, I
to,
can't hear myself on YouTube.
but do you have a college education? Do you have a diploma, or do your children, are you sending your kids to college or anything like that?
no. So I don't have any. I don't have any kids. I have 2 dogs and a wife.
Well, let me ask you this. If you did have kids, would you invest in their education?
I heard you, Dragon.
Absolutely, yeah.
I heard you, but just not
Okay,
on
so
YouTube.
is their education tangible? No, it's not. Their education is not tangible. Its intrinsic value is there, yes, but it's not tangible. So I think that the concept, you're having a hard time with the concept of something that is no different than what you're already used to. Have you ever, you purchased a cell phone plan, right?
Yeah.
Or a cable bill, right? Is that tangible? Your television is tangible. Your phone is tangible, but that's different than the bill, the other thing that you're paying for that's not tangible. But yet it's a service being provided that you're able to benefit from or derive some type of resource that you can utilize. So the same concept is here. There's no different. I think it's just that it's because it's maybe somewhere along the line something is sticking in the back of your head that you heard of a narrative that was negative about cryptocurrency or DeFi or Bitcoin or whatever. But if you really think about it and you're honest with yourself, then to say that I don't invest in things that are not tangible you're not being completely accurate with your statement.
No, that's a good point. That's a very good point. Yeah, I can't argue with that. It's more of the unknown. Like I invest in things, and I make money. And it's probably mostly for me. It's the unknown. But like I said, I probably will start dabbling, but it's change is hard for anybody.
Have you ever made an investment into a stock, a bond, or a CD, or have you ever put your money in a bank account that was earning interest?
Yeah.
And how much do you know about fractional reserve banking and the details of the CD or the intricate workings of the investment behind the stock of the company? How much do you know about the CEO, the board members of that company that you're investing in? Like, do you have all of that detail when you invest in it, or do you just know Apple price go up, I invest, I make money, and I cash out?
No, honestly, I do a little research. Probably not as much as I should, but I have a very good friend that does very well on the stock market, so I kind of like pick his brain and then we'll move from there. I have not invested enough time into it, or I should say, I invested enough time that it deserves for me to be as successful as I know I can be at it. I just take advice from a very, very successful friend. Is pretty much what I do. What I do for a living, I'm so busy, and it's hard to.
Absolutely 100%. Yeah. And there's no more important or valuable thing to invest in yourself. That is the most important investment you can ever make. That's the most valuable investment. That's the one with the most return of interest that you make of any investment. So that's all I have to say is A, don't ever get involved with cryptocurrency or DeFi until you have thoroughly educated yourself to the point where you're comfortable with what you're doing. Don't ever put more money into any crypto, into anything, than you're willing to go ahead and lose the moment that you invest or put into something. Just be comfortable, come to terms with the fact that it's gone, but not out of your reach. You can still utilize it, access it. Just don't invest more than you are able to lose. And when you're doing your own research, make sure that the information that you're getting is accurate, and double check and verify. Trust but verify. Again, it could be things change in an instant in DeFi. So you really say it's it's not like normal institution where so things come very rapidly in DeFi, but educating yourself on it is the most important step of anything else.
I that was very well said. I do believe.
Oh, my toaster. So
Have people in your position with your level of understanding what DeFi and what crypto is. I think it's very important these conversations happen more often. I think they're very valuable, not just for you, but for us as well. Iron sharpens iron. These kind of conversations just help us to reinforce with ourselves, and also it gives us more confidence. And basically, by reiterating the information, we're more confident in the information because we're more thorough now with the information. So if anything, if you don't, derive any benefit directly from this conversation, I know I do. I know the rest of this community will. Those of us who are here that are listening, and the conversations that we have with each other, that we listen to other people have. Sometimes we hear something or a perspective or something said in a way that we didn't think before, but it's like, oh, that's true. That's good. I'm going to remember that next time somebody asks me that question. So, it's just as valuable for me having this conversation as I would imagine it is for you, um, being informed on some of this information. So I want to thank you for, entertaining
Oh
this
man, I mean,
conversation as well.
absolutely. I
About the same. They're about the same height. One of the trees bends and it sways in the wind violently. The other tree it's stiff and it doesn't really move with the wind, but the wind is blowing and blowing and blowing, and it's just getting more and more intense. Which of those two trees do you think will eventually will be the one to snap, to break? Which one of those trees do you think will stand and will survive that storm?
the one that works with it, not the one that fights it.
Bingo. If you're not flexible and you can't be fluid with the moment, then you're just, yeah, you're destined to just break against the resistance.
Yeah, look, man. You never want to resist, especially when you're trying to start or run a company. You never want to resist anything. The best way I can say it, and this is going to sound freaking cliche and ridiculous, but you have to be like the river. You have to take the path of least resistance.
Oh, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Why would you advertise one way? You know what I mean?
No, I
Like,
totally
like,
agree. I totally agree. Our options are open,
uh,
man. Absolutely
yeah.
wide
So
open.
I just, yeah,
We're always open
and
to
these are all my
ideas and criticisms and all that fun stuff. So,
well, I'm anyway. I'm not trying to criticize you guys or, um, preach, but I think with a group this big, you guys could do. I mean, the freaking, sky's the limit. So, um, I think the more people you guys reach, the better off you're going to be. And there's a lot of different ways to reach a lot of people. I mean, shit, you reached me, and I don't even really like Blair. So,
well, thank you for being on the impromptu live show tonight, and thanks, Hoddle, for sticking with us. You know, and whoever watching us, with the one or two people, probably just me and Blair watching right now, but thank you for watching and seeing what it's like to educate a new crypto investor and in their
yeah,
thoughts
dude, I'm
too. Very valuable stuff. Absolutely.
it's gonna happen. I'm gonna invest now because you assholes talked me into it.
All right.
Thank you for the conversation. And yeah, anytime I like to engage. I like to engage.
Yeah, man, I'm always ready.
Let me close.
Here's Blair. He's about to shit himself. Here's
Rig
what.
service.
Hey, thanks for the comment, guys.
Yeah, thanks, Brett. Have a good night, man.
That is insane.
Ricky's back in the house. Let's go.
Guys, dude. Like, I don't even know, like, what just took place and what were we a part of?
Man, these are the conversations that get recorded, and then I have a desire to go share with share with.
Hey, I saw you in the chat earlier. I don't call very many people out because I don't do this a lot. Actually, this is the very first time that I brought, like, I work on an oil rig. I was on an oil rig for 50 days. I work as a geologist, so I work 12 hours a day, and I worked 50 days in a row. And then whenever I'm off work, I live with Brett, and Brett lives right here in downtown. Does his thing, and then he sees me on he sees me on here just chatting and launching contracts and talking shit. And then I was like, you know what, this is gonna be extremely interesting. I'm gonna like, dude, I'm gonna let you have the mic. I'm gonna let you completely speak your mind, and then I want you to understand that there's an underlying reasoning that all of us believe that we're getting fucked over by the government. We don't know what that reasoning might be, and especially coming from his perspective, whenever he himself worked for the government, and then I mean, of course, you're dangerous. I wouldn't fuck with you, and I'm 6'2". You're like 5'8". I still wouldn't fuck with you. Anyways, Brett, stop. Anyways, you're gonna like, but yeah. So like, I surround myself with like very intelligent and intellectual people, and I think okay. To an extent, he's right about shaking hands and doing things like that. But in today's day and age, it's all about a very information age technology. You don't have to shake someone's hand. You can go to Twitter and you can find so much disinformation about the vaccine. I think the face to face is good enough. The fact that I'm showing my face and I can speak about whatever that I think but I understand that, Brett. I'm not discrediting what you're saying. I'm also saying that, you know what, we're almost 40 years old and the world has changed. I think the world has become sexist. I think the world has turned into porn, OnlyFans, and it gave empowerment to women to make them to think that they can be boss bitches. And if they're boss bitches, they don't need men. And without men, men can turn into women. It's an entire agenda to completely collapse society. They don't want me to have kids. They don't want other people to have kids, and they definitely don't want men to marry, because law and order has stepped in. Like, I've lost a house. I've dated women that took shit from me. Yeah. So like, what's the point of getting married? It's a societal addiction, but we're lucky enough that we're involved with the thing that is going to solve that because we're moving away from money and society's money, which is what Kathan Hada was talking about when he's talking about the shadow government, the shadow this, being able to create your own value based on the community's value and you based on your community's savings account that's hedged against the dollar that is also hedged on the asset of whatever chain you launch on because that's why we're called blockchain trends. I mean, when we're looking at Pulse Chain, we're looking at Parallel Chain, we're looking at Aptos, we're looking at a lot of new other layer ones, not just Ethereum, but also other chains that are going to provide value. And then, of course, launching our own chain in the future because we understand how to do that and the capabilities of doing that.
And Rig, you
And
just gave me a really good idea, actually. And I want to just put this advertisement out there real quick. So I guess currently I'm in the market for a husband, so that way we can have a two income household and like enjoy all the finer things in life.
they already
You
do
know,
that.
obviously,
Dude, I
obviously
watched
date
that.
women, you know,
These
like
people had their own elevator and their thing. He goes, "I'm only gay because of the money."
Hey, I've
right,
heard that before. I drove Uber and he's like, "Oh man, I think he's
Are y'all? I mean, do y'all know like Jordan Peterson and Andrew
yes,
Tate? Are
good
y'all
guy.
into masculinity?
yeah."
I will never. I'm never getting married again. I don't have to. I don't have to. I could literally fly to Colombia, fuck a bitch, and then be like, "No, I'm not bringing you."
Well, you have your own personal contract. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Exactly.
don't get
Because
involved.
I've dated women where I've taken care of 3 kids. I've dated another one where I took care of 2 kids from the time they were 6 months until the time they were 16. So I did my part. I did my part. Modern society is fucked.
Well, anytime you get the government involved in any aspect of your life, they're gonna fumble it.
Yeah, especially when it's involved in marriage, like
Yeah,
the
Especially when
concept.
it's involved in financial technology.
yeah. Finances, family,
You don't
marriages.
understand, Brett. Crypto falls under every single category in your life.
Yeah, I know a person who went through a divorce and they had most of their assets in crypto, and
Taken away too.
wife couldn't touch it. No, the wife
Exactly.
couldn't touch it.
Oh, the wife
Yeah,
couldn't touch
because
it.
it
That's the thing
technically
is,
isn't like a real asset that they can touch. So
let's fucking go. Power to the
or he
man.
could have hidden it so pretty easily. So that's probably what he
You
ended
say
up
what?
doing.
You know what? I'm gonna be called a misogynist. I don't give a fuck. I don't. Whatever.
Well, this
I
is
worked.
one
I,
more. This is
I,
one
I
more
I worked
case
my.
study of why I
I
think it's
worked my ass
important that
off.
we.
Look. I climbed my way to the top of a mountain, and then you're telling me when I get to the top of the mountain, right? I can only have one piece of candy. Women are born with value. Women are born with value. They're born with it. And L'Oreal, a little bit of makeup and L'Oreal, and women have value. So whenever a man can walk out when he's 18 and he's a piece of shit, and the world is going to tell him he's a piece of shit really quick. But if you're an 18-year-old hot ass chick and you have L'Oreal, you can fuck anything you want. But you know what? You don't gain your value. Expect like maybe 40, maybe, dude, a 45. Look at Trump. He was 50 and he was fucking a 20-year-old. Shut the fuck up. Thank you, society. And you know what? That's not my fault that y'all created, that this feministic society has created a society that has actually benefited more pedophilia than any other society known to mankind. But this is something that isn't new. It's not. This is the way the world has always been ran, and it's because, especially men and their intellectual value, it takes time. Because when you look at a man, you look at their scars, and a lot of women are like, "Oh, I want a bad boy, a man that's been through some shit." And I'm over there talking to a girl about how I'm a heroin addict and I was homeless, and she's fucking turned on by that. Whenever the guy next door is like, "Oh, I went to UCLA and I graduated with all A's," you know who she's going to home. You know who she's going home with. She's going home with me.
So if I could digress a bit about the guy that got divorced and the wife couldn't take his crypto assets or whatever, but so this is another reason why I think
I'm sorry, I
it's
was being an
very
asshole, but
important. But I think it's very important that we try to shift the narrative of crypto from a currency to a language, so
No,
we,
no, no,
we
no.
can we
It's
can
always been a language.
express it.
It's always been freedom of speech. When I
Yes,
write my when
but
I write
if
my
the
own code,
government,
when
but
I
if
write my
we,
own code, I type
government,
my own
are
shit.
considering it to be a currency and then are paying taxes
I
on it,
mean,
which is
there's
ridiculous,
no way in hell
then
that
we're
they would ever be able
defeating
to
the
pass that.
purpose. We are working against the very nature of what it's deployed for us for, or what the Satoshi paper was trying to outline for us.
Okay,
So I would like to see us stop
Captain Huddle.
calling it currency, but to start referring to it as digital language, as we have the right to choose our own financial technology, and we have the right to communicate that financial technology in whatever language we decide.
I love the fact that it's no locality, and so
Yeah,
I
I was
mean
about
that
to
is
say, I was about to say, I don't know how to pronounce your name, but I would like to, like, I would like to
go
hear
ahead.
your input. Yeah, I would
Yeah,
like to hear your input on the things that you've been listening
Nervdo?
to. Like, you don't know me or my community,
just
but
call
you
me
listen to
Nardo.
my
Yeah,
you listen to
Nardo?
my best
Yeah.
friend talk. This is my community. I let someone talk for a while, and you actually listened for a couple hours, well, maybe not a couple
Dude, we've
hours,
been
but
streaming for
and
almost 2 hours, dude. We are a
I know, but
minute
I'm saying
away.
this dude doesn't know anything about this community. I'm just like, what do you think? And like I'm just curious on. Yeah,
well, let me share like how I got involved with this community because I listened to you about like a year and a half ago.
shut the
This
fuck up.
Banana Task Force Ape,
Oh, BTFA.
yeah, exactly. So I mean,
Yeah.
I enjoy the content that's shared because these are the conversations that people need to hear in order to wake up. Why I purchase NFTs and why I purchase crypto. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a lonely community. You know what I'm saying? That people need to hear conversations that the crypto could be tied to assets, whether it's vehicle, land, housing, and it can't be deleted, And so I understand the narrative and trying to help people understand as well. And it takes a lot of patience, and I learned something new listening to this
Captain
group.
Correct.
And these are the conversations or the recordings that if I send to somebody and say, hey, listen to this, and you summarize it very well, every time I hear you, I get a little bit of piece of nuggets and understand that, like, yeah, this is where we're going technological wise. And I love a lot of different projects, and every project I have listed, I mean, I got like 77 projects plus listed to where if a sufficient amount of money were granted to me, I would be able to have that blockchain be a part of my life, whether it's ordering pizza or getting a ride somewhere, or ordering clothes online, or ordering clothes through metaverse, or purchasing some land and being able to partition it out and
Because
collect rent.
yeah, because it takes money to have a certain voice in the space, unless you're extremely smart or manipulative. You can manipulate. So all Sway did was manipulate everyone. He made probably $4 or $5 million off manipulating his community.
I didn't
And
even know that happened with it. That's crazy.
Yep. Dude hit 20 million. They launched another one, hit 6 million, and they launched another one that hit 6 million again. And then he bailed, and then he showed a picture of himself with a gun, said, if y'all question me, this and that. I had already bailed, but I lost around 15 grand.
Yeah, that's
Telegram.
Yeah, it was
yeah,
just
that's far.
unfortunate, man. It's
You see,
you think you
but I
could
didn't
trust
back it.
somebody
I
and
didn't.
you just
I didn't back it like that. I backed it because I knew that the network and the people that I gained from that would always benefit me in the end, because I always talked about influencers and how much money they spent on influencers, and I felt like it was a scam. But I mean, 15 grand I mean, if I would have sold at all-time highs, it'd probably been like 45 grand. I didn't lose any money, but it has nothing to do. Sex offenders, my token. One of the token.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. I didn't even.
Blockchain trends.
All new news to me. but I've been investing in a lot of other projects too. So I mean, like the
Yeah,
thing about
we don't launch a lot. Like what we do is pretty much everyone vaults their tokens. So like we offer this thing called vaulting. So like people can like literally they get airdrop supply, and then the next token that we drop, we airdrop them double the supply, and then they just vault it again. So then whenever we're getting ready to launch on ETH with Baby Pulse or Baby Pulse X, that the top of the supply is held by people that have vaulted tokens throughout other protocols.
got you. Yeah, I mean,
And
I
by vaulting, I mean burning. Pretty much, they're giving up their right to sell tokens, so I can rug pull you.
got you.
It's literally in my toilet paper. I wrote something called a toilet paper, and I raised 30 BNB in about 45 minutes.
So what? So
I have no idea.
you've helped other people launch their projects. That's what you're saying?
100%. I've been involved with 5 $100 million projects,
Got you. Okay.
but I did not
Yeah,
control the wallets. I did not. I built the community. I
That's
helped
it.
build the community. I did not control wallets.
Oh yeah, I've been rug pulled so many times. Like the
Oh,
thing
right.
about this space.
I was sitting on 250 grand like at GRV, and then I asked the
Dude.
dev when it was worth 30. I said, "Hey, is it okay if I sell?" And he started laughing. He goes, "You haven't sold yet?" The dev
talking about
goes,
gold?
You haven't
dev.
sold yet?
GRV goes, "You have not sold yet?"
Are you
No,
talking
dude,
about
because
bro?
we were fucking pushing it,
Grabbing
dude. We
stuff.
felt bad. We felt bad
We were
for
up for
fucking.
6 days, dude. It went from 250K to 117 million in 6 days. 276x, and I was sitting on 250 grand at all time high,
Dude, I was sitting on like.
and
Oh
I
my
did not
God,
sell
dude.
because I was in the VC, and it was a rebase token.
It was.
One project that I just got out of that the devs kind of said, "Hey, we're gonna save this for later." It was called
Yes,
Bank of
so we use vaulting. Yeah, so yeah, it's a different type of mechanic, but it works.
Okay. Yeah, the Bank of Burn project was really nice because it gave you USDC reflections, and it had, I think, I want to say a 6% tax buy and sell, and every buy and sell distributed USDC tokens, and
I think
it was low cap, and I was sitting with a nice supply, but man, that would have been a really great project just to collect more savings than any type of savings account would ever offer on this planet. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, like our vision's way bigger and deeper than that. I
yeah,
get what
I
you're saying.
a little bit about tying it to this chain and everything.
Yeah,
I'm more of a
we're looking at Pulse Chain, we're looking at Parallel Chain, we're looking at Aptos Chain, we're looking at Algorand. So yeah.
nice. Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
into Algorand.
but like all you have to do is just buy in and then sacrifice. I mean, it's
Dude, hold on. There was a guy in our Telegram just now, and he thought that when I said we're live, he thought he thought we meant we were launching a token.
did he buy?
He didn't buy. He hit the / contract in the Telegram.
Drop an address. Drop an
Dude,
address. Drop the
I'm gonna
vault
drop
address.
I'm gonna drop the Baby Pulse address. No, actually, I might drop the Vault wallet. Actually,
Exactly. The Vault wallet has like $8,000 in it.
nuts.
Yeah, I have about 5 projects that I plan on investing in and letting it ride, because
That's a lot. That's a lot. Like that's a lot. I think diversity is stupid.
well, it's only 2, but 5 is like the core.
Like I'm talking about long term. I'm going to hold for 5 years. There's 2 things that I'll invest in, maybe 3.
What's your top 5 list, man?
I think diversity. Everything. There's so many scams. It's just an absolute waste. It's a waste.
If you're
It's a
gonna
waste of money.
diversify, you gotta diversify like on chains
When you're
like
worth millions.
fucking
When you're
Cardano,
worth
fucking
millions.
You diversify
Correct.
on ETH, you diversify on AVAX, you
Correct.
diversify. You don't
Correct.
diversify on
That's
fucking Santa Floki. You don't diversify on fucking Gravitoki. You
thank
don't
you.
fucking
I
diversify
haven't
That
even
is what
said
I
my
meant.
list yet,
That
man.
is what I
dude.
meant.
On
That,
fucking Banana Tours 8, dude. Okay, what else, what the fucking what's the dust in my goddamn wallet? All the mistakes. Let me read them off. What are all the goddamn mistakes? Okay, we got Zushi. We got
he's like, dude,
fucking
you're
Nano
tracking my
Dogecoin,
address.
dude.
Tracking my
Fucking
address.
Astro Floki, DeFi X
I do it
Bet,
too. I
Wild
do it too.
Times with the fucking
Are you going to bed?
money symbol.
Hey, that's good money though. If you get in quick and get out, I mean,
Yeah,
well,
dude.
yeah.
NFT MetaPads, dude. Look at all that dust shit, dude. Fucking Fusion, dude. This is all the dust in my wallet. Valen Hype, dude. This is
Dude,
McGrim Doge.
I like Elon Cum Rocket.
Dude, fucking
Porn,
just
dude, Porn Rocket made me 104x. I made 50 grand, and then I put it in fucking
Nice. You got out of it before they pulled
No,
it.
I got fucking wrecked because I put all my money in. It starts with a B. I staked it all in fucking. What's that dex?
Rocket too.
It starts with a B. It's a big dex. It's V2 now.
on what?
But
Don't throw that up.
What's the top 5 coin this year? Go.
What do you mean?
Algorand.
Top
Algorand.
5?
Or
Yeah,
Aptos.
like
Aptos.
Okay.
Aptos,
top,
Algorand. Aptos.
top 5.
Pulse Chain. Pulse
Give me
Chain.
three
Oh,
chains.
my top 5.
Okay, give me,
My top 5?
okay, no, hear me out. Give me three chains and then top 5 performing coins.
Yeah, Algorand, Aptos, Pulse Chain. Hex.
Dude, Filecoin.
Doge. I'm sure Doge will still do okay. But
No,
you got
Dogecoin is
File.
its own chain. Dogecoin is its own chain. Okay, top 3 chains are going to be Parallel Chain, Pulse Chain, and
Ooh, I got money in all those.
I don't know, and Polygon.
I feel like
I got money there too.
Coins, Hex, Filecoin.
Hex is gonna explode. It's because it's illiquid.
What
That's why.
else?
Just sell. Just take your 10x and sell.
Coins?
What do you think about this new AVAX though? That Amazon partnership.
Dude, that's gonna be lit. Oh my god, I totally forgot. I wish there was a top 5. That would have been in my top 5. AVAX.
We're gonna be
I'm
launching
bullish on
them.
AVAX.
Yeah.
Accumulate AVAX because if they nail this Amazon
Yeah.
partnership, and sometimes these partnerships are so bullshit, and that's why I'm skeptical because they're like, okay, we're gonna partnership and do all this shit, and then
It's like
nothing
Facebook.
happens, and it falls through, and they just quietly sweep it under the rug.
Talk about
Yeah.
Amazon though. That's the crazy part. You
I
know?
know.
I-
I hope they keep it.
No. I think
But-
FTX is still holding a bunch of assets, and they're trying to get those. They're trying to get people to buy so they can get dumped on. I think we have one more scam wick, and I think that's part of it.
I think so too. I think the
I
data,
could be wrong.
this past week was not as strong as everybody thought because it was just expected.
I don't pay attention to that. I pay attention to the like.
Well, there's a
I pay
correlation in
attention
that.
to what Dragon tells me. I pay attention to what Dragon tells me.
If
Dude, I'm
NASDAQ
telling you,
doesn't-
this is a big
I don't-
accumulation phase sparked by the
I do
AVAX
not watch
partnership with
markets.
Amazon,
I think,
and
I think
that's all
it's
this
going
is.
to be-
Okay,
I think it's a
sentiment
scam wick.
is not
I think
gonna
it's a
flip.
scam wick.
this early. Okay,
no,
it's not gonna flip.
yeah, we got
It's
to
too
wait till
early.
third quarter and bottom.
We got to
Whataburger?
we got to hit the third quarter bottom,
Huh?
even fourth quarter bottom. You know, this may be a longer bear market since we had 2 tops instead of 1. So we have to also keep that in mind.
Dude, Dragon, we've been saying that since whenever BTC was at 40K. We said, guys, buckle in shit's gonna get tough. No one fucking listened. You go back, you can listen to you and Captain Hoddle's video from 8 months ago telling everyone not to be fucking stupid. That was 8 months ago.
Really? Was that long ago?
At
Shit,
least.
I felt like it was longer,
dude.
man. Because I had some TAs on Bitcoin going down to like 15, and everybody looked at me like I was nuts.
Yeah,
And
dude,
I
and
was,
then it hit
nothing to do with
15.8, dude.
I was a little stuttered. I was like, kind of. No, I,
I wish I would have shorted it at 5x.
Dude, that would have been the
But,
smartest decision ever. We should have just shorted at 40K. We would.
5x.
We should have
5x
shorted at
40K.
fucking 40K all the way down. Had our stop loss at like, I don't know, 41, and then just rode it down, and we would have been in the money. We should do that next bull
Millionaire.
cycle.
Why wouldn't we?
I know.
all right, well, we gotta buy it okay, well, then here's what we got to do. We got to buy it from the bottom.
All right, so
Dude,
I'm
what
saying
do
the
you-
bottom's probably gonna be around
what-
11K.
what
I'm
do you
gonna
think?
bet on Richard Hart here, and he better not let me down.
Dude,
That's all I gotta say.
if Hex 10x's, we're all millionaires.
Enough said.
I don't got any.
Dude, then you should
See,
get
my,
some Hex.
I'd say the chains that I think are going to do well. Definitely Algo.
Algo, yeah, that's a good one. Yep.
I'm already
XRP.
building on it.
Did you say XRP?
XRP.
Oh, yeah,
Already holding
XRP,
some.
especially now that the lawsuit's over, dude. There was
It's like my top two holdings.
there was such it really just stopped it from running this bull cycle. So I'm hoping there's like a lot of pent up like
So
energy coming
Aggression.
from that.
Yeah.
Aggression from there's a lot of aggression in the XRP community, but
Well,
we're gonna leave that at that.
You
But
guys don't understand about the XRP is that these hedge fund companies
where have
have
you
a
been?
legal obligation to buy into them when they start getting
Oh, yeah.
when they start reaching that profitability level. So they have
really?
to legally buy into them. So this is what a lot of people don't realize. There's a gigantic fucking wall of cash coming down the pipeline, smacking XRP right on the head. I'm telling you, I've been holding them fucking bags forever, and I've been trying to tell people, don't fucking be scared because the fucking corrupt ass SEC is doing what they're doing. That's a bunch of bullshit. Just trust
dude,
me.
they're buying bags
These
right now.
deals right here, if you're accumulating, you're gonna fucking your face is gonna move off in triple digits. Are you gonna be able to hold it all the way through up into fucking $1,000 XRP?
Oh, yeah.
I
Oh, yeah.
fucking, I don't
5K
I
XRP.
don't know.
I will.
5K XRP. Gone. But I would
It'll
say
probably it'll probably hit 10K.
that third one, I'm going to have to go with H-bar.
Really? Adara Hashgraph, huh?
Have you ever heard of Parallel Chain? Look up Parallel Chain.
Dude, I want you to
and be
look up
amazed.
Parallel Chain. And
Yeah,
it's gonna
yeah.
revolutionize business structure for sure.
Correct.
It's exciting. It's very exciting on a
I cannot
on a
believe I got
technical
on the private
blockchain
sell
level.
of that because it's scalable, it's speed, it's all three, and it's secure on a biometric level. Literally, so if I lost my phone in the river and I grab your phone with 3 forms of biometric data, I can pull up my wallet on your phone. Just look up Parallel Chain.
Can I ask what you guys are talking about? What coin?
It's not a coin; it's a new layer 1. We talk about layer 1s here, which is Pulse Chain, which we all back. But we're right. Welcome to the
So is
revolution.
this the project you're working on?
Absolutely not. I am not that based.
Okay, so and then I'm gonna say that the coins that I'm choosing is gonna be Casino Coin on the XRP blockchain. Oh my God, the price and the all-time high is just
Can you drop that in the chat?
yeah, it's Casino Coin, CSC,
Just drop it in the chat.
and then another one.
It's a freedom of speech chat. Y'all can drop whatever y'all want. Y'all can show your call group, show your whatever. It's all about growing your network. Here, I don't fucking discriminate against bullshit.
Well, it
This
needs to
one,
be everything good product.
and then I'm gonna drop my top 5 on the CoinMarketCap link here. Other one is I'm curious what you guys think about BAT.
Do you don't hold you don't hold Monero?
Nope.
I like BAT. I'm all for BAT. I love the Brave browser. It's the only browser I use.
I hold BAT. Yes, because I use Brave browser as well.
This
But
one,
I
not bad.
but there's no personal brand. I rather build my own personal brand, and then we create our own browser. His wife's asleep. I'm getting yelled at.
I might have to go with Reserve Rights. They just started working with like 20 more countries.
I like your beanie. Wearing my fucking
Go with Solo.
There's some people I've never seen in a part of this chat hanging out, man. Are y'all watching us on YouTube and just popping in?
Yeah, dude.
Question mark.
All right, we're gonna have to put this stream to bed. It is 3:30 a.m. my time. All right, I love you guys, but god damn it, we gotta end
This
this.
is one-
We gotta wrap it up. You know, thanks for tuning in to Blockchain Trends Live impromptu show with Brett, Rig, and Captain Hoddlebaggins.
Brett.
And other special guests. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in tonight. And we'll see you live on the next one.
This was fucking epic. Holy shit.
And let's play the outro, baby.